Hello everybody and welcome back to Lackluster Beauty, aka Guerrilla Feminism, etc. This episode is going to be about cultural appropriation because 'tis the season. Halloween is a few days away, and I mean, people engage with cultural appropriation all year round, unfortunately, but it's exceptionally high during Halloween. So I want to talk about that, and I'm going to be doing my Halloween makeup look for what I am going as, but I will tell you who that is at the end. So you'll have to wait and see, or fast forward, I mean, whatever. I'm going to start, actually, I need to prime my eyes, so I'm going to do that quick because I never realized how important eyeshadow primer was, and then I used it, you know, like the first time, I think a couple of years ago, no, like probably 3 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, I don't have creases when I put eyeshadow on top of this, and it's super important because guess what, if you don't, your eyes will crease, which, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. If you're into that look, go for it, but I'm not, personally. So I'm just kind of messily putting it on. I don't really, you know, because then you just like dab it in, really. So the look I'm going to be doing today is a cut crease glitter look. Glittery purple look. That's what I'm kind of going for. So, and I have a wig and all kinds of cool stuff that I'm going to put on, and fake eyelashes actually too. I never wear fake eyelashes unless I'm like dressing up like this, because otherwise it's just too much effort for me and I don't care. All right. So what is cultural appropriation? Do we know? In case you don't know, it's basically adopting a culture that you don't belong to, and really it's thievery. It's stealing another culture's imagery or ideas or etc., anything from that. I'll get into examples about that later on, but it's really just at its core when somebody adopts aspects of a culture that are not their own. So firstly, let's point this out right away. There's no such thing as white culture. As white people, we don't have there's not a white culture, okay? So don't try to make some weird reverse racist bullshit comments. Anyways, that being said, there's a lot of power dynamics involved with cultural appropriation. And I will get into that in a second because I'm going to start my eye look. So I'm going to use some shades from this palette, Early Bird by Pretty Vulgar. It's a really cute indie brand, in case you haven't heard of it. This is what the inside looks like. Isn't that cute? I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, my whole lid I'm going to do with this purple, light purple shade called Unruffled. I'm just gonna kind of sweep that all over my lids as sort of a base color, because again I'm doing this like purpley fuchsia eyeshadow look today, so it can be kind of messy. It doesn't really matter. So power dynamics. So the other, you know, important thing to remember about cultural appropriation is the fact that it has to do with power dynamics. So I said there's no white culture, right? Well, a lot of that is because too, like white people, we have all kinds of different ethnicities, heritages in our backgrounds, right? But white people as a whole do not have a white culture. There's not a white culture. And really what we've done is just continue to take from other cultures and to sort of pretend like it's part of our culture when, again, there's no such thing as white culture. So don't do that, because that's just not a good time for anybody. So as I am just, again, just placing this shadow all over my lid and in my crease, really just sort of to get a base on my lid. And again, I have hooded eyes, so I have to kind of go above and beyond the crease, if you will. Yes, that's what we call it. Okay, so I think that's enough. That's pretty much all I'm going to use from this palette. So, thanks, early bird. Then, I'm going to go into... I did this look last night as a practice run, so I'm hoping it comes out similarly. I'm going to go into the Coloured Raine Queen of Hearts palette, which is one of my favorite palettes. It's so pretty. Look at those colors. So I'm going to mostly use Queen Mother, which is this really beautiful purple shade, and then a little bit of this brown. Yeah, that brown. What's that called? Duchess. So specifically, when we talk about like Halloween and cultural appropriation, part of the issue here is that you see people, first of all, let's say which people. You see white people, mostly, engaging with cultural appropriation in ways that, obviously, anytime you engage with cultural appropriation, it's not good. Cultural appreciation is slightly different. That's mostly when you're invited by someone of that culture to participate in their culture's, dress or, festivity or something else. That's when you're expressly invited, though, by somebody from that culture. So that's really the difference. But back to cultural appropriation, you see a lot of people during Halloween, a lot of white people just like, dressing up as Pocahontas or dressing up as, I'm trying to think of some of the worst examples I've seen, but like, never dress up as, if you're a white person, well, or even if you're a non-black person of color, don't dress up in blackface. That's like very, very bad, okay? Or yellow face, or, like red face, whatever you want to say, however you want to call that stuff, like, don't do that. That's racist, okay, first of all. But a lot of people still do that shit because they don't fucking care. And here's the thing, you could easily, as a white person or a non-black person of color, dress up as like, Beyonce or something, but you don't need to color your skin, Like, you could dress up as Beyonce, but just fucking stay away from coloring your skin, Like, you don't need to do that. And that apparently doesn't occur to people, or they just don't care, which I think is probably more so the case, unfortunately. And the thing with like Pocahontas too, like, that's just such a, especially when I see little kids dressed as Pocahontas, it's just really fucked up and sad because, she was essentially raped by this white dude, and I mean, so much fucked up shit happened to her, and you're gonna let your kid dress up as her? Not to mention, if your kid is white or non-native, like, don't do that. Like, that's not... I mean, if you're a member of that culture or that race, feel free to do whatever you want, right? I, as a white woman, am not going to sit here and be like, you can't do that, obviously, because that's not my place. But for white people or anyone who's not of that culture, like, don't do that shit. Like, I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Duchess, and I'm just going to take that brown a little bit and do kind of just a C a C shape around the outer corner of my eye. So the other issue with cultural appropriation, when you dress up as somebody, like, I'm really kind of concerned this Halloween to see oh, sorry, the sun is coming out. I don't know why I'm apologizing because I can't help it, but whatever. This Halloween, I'm really concerned about seeing a lot of, like, anti-Semitism, since that's been, like, really the rage for a lot of white people. Nazis have been, you know, like, I'm really kind of concerned about seeing that kind of shit, and I'm concerned specifically for, you know, those of you who are Jewish, to have to deal with that shit. I feel like that's going to be a really big, costume, unfortunately, this year, because look at who the president is, look at the gross people who support him. And so I feel like that's going to be quite big, and people are going to be just like, okay, dressing as Hitler is never okay, never a good time. Don't do it. But I feel like I'm going to see that, and that's going to be disgusting and disturbing. And then, of course, I'm sure there will be people in blackface or, you know, dressed up as a race that they're not, which is, again, never okay. And yeah, it's just not, it's not a good time. I think that it takes very little to actually not engage in cultural appropriation. It's not that hard to be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't do this because it's not a part of my culture. So I honestly do think at this point it's for a lot. I know some people are straight up ignorant, but I think for a lot of people, a lot of white people just don't care, which is really sad. But I do think that that's the truth of the matter, which is messed up, and that needs to be dealt with. And there are a lot of activists who are trying to deal with that and educate people and be like, look, you should care about this because you should care about people, okay? And you should care what you are doing and how you are affecting people, especially when you're somebody who has white privilege, right? If you're, like, looking at the power dynamics, you have white privilege, like, understand that, like, look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to zoom in here. That's kind of what it's looking like. It's really messy right now, so I'm gonna blend that all together, obviously. Oh God, I worked out at the gym last night, did a lot of, what's it called? My brain today. I did a lot of strength training, and I'm not used to it, and oh my God. Oh my gosh. I'm sore. But so yeah, like, the point is, somebody's culture is not a costume. You shouldn't dress up as that. They live that life every day and get terrorized for it every day. I mean, look at the state of Black people in this world and how they're treated, right? Specifically in the US, because that's all I can speak to since I'm a US citizen. And look at how Native people are treated, you know? And so for a white person to come in, or anyone who's not part of that culture to come in and be like, I'm gonna dress as this culture for a day, see what it's like. It's so disgusting and just completely ignores their struggle and all of the shit that they've been through, and they've been through shit, okay? So now that I have done this shadow, I am going to do a cut crease, which I'm gonna do off camera because it's just gonna, this video is gonna be too long otherwise, and I'm a little camera shy when it comes to that. When it comes to doing cut creases and my eyeliner on camera, I don't want to do that. I'm not about that life, okay? So I will be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. Did my cut crease. That's what it looks like. If you want examples of how to do a cut crease, I would just look it up on YouTube. There are a lot of awesome makeup artists who are teaching this stuff. I didn't know how to do one before, so I just looked it up. I can try to leave a link below to one that I like, if I remember. But so anyways, I did the cut crease, and I'm going to be using this fun Violet Voss glitter in Copperella rather, but it's a copper color. And I'm gonna put that in my cut crease, basically. That is the goal. I'm going to use NYX glitter primer. I tried to get the Violet Voss glitter primer because when I was buying this, I was like, why the hell not? But they were all sold out, so I couldn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on and wait until it gets a little tacky and then start placing the glitter. All right, so I have the glitter primer on this lid, and here we go. I'm going to use a concealer brush to start putting it on. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. I think it's tacky. I don't know. I never know how to do this shit, okay? So I'm just gonna go in and hope for the best. This is how I do most of my makeup. Big surprise, right? So I want to show a few, if I can, I'll see if I can figure it out, a few examples of cultural appropriation on my phone, because I am not fancy enough to do like a, you know, put in a photo into the video. I don't know how to do that. I don't really have the time right now to figure it out. This is what it's looking like. It's kind of messy right now, so it'll look better, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. But so also, besides cultural appropriation, I also wanted to talk about what like other things you shouldn't dress as, basically, because and it's not cultural appropriation, but it's definitely community appropriation, maybe, if that's a thing. So something that comes up for me that I think about right away are when people dress as people with mental illness. As somebody who has mental illness, like, I don't want to see your weird bullshit depiction of shit that I've experienced and been through. So this includes things like, you know, dressing up as like a mental patient, or like some kind of suicidal thing, or using self-harm in some way. It's just not, it's not okay to do that. You know, I would say it's okay if, you know, it's part of a character that you're dressing up as, but don't just do it to do it, you know, like that's really gross and yucky. So kindly stay away from that. Also, like, don't dress up as a trans person in a mocking way. Like, if you want to go as Laverne Cox or something, do that. But, like, first of all, don't go in blackface if you're white or if you're non-black. And don't make it a mockery, you know? Don't make her transness a mockery. Like, be Laverne Cox, but, like, don't be an asshole about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's just, it's not funny, it's not cute, it's really harmful. Okay, I think this eye is done. I mean, with the glitter. So I am going to be right back again and do the other eye. So this is what that looks like. Again, hold up. I'm gonna blend it in. It'll look better, I hope. Cross your fingers. All right, so I have the glitter on. I think it looks pretty good. And that NYX glitter primer worked really well, so in case anybody had questions about that. So now I'm going to I'm gonna go in with Queen Mother, that purple shade again, and just kind of buff this out a little bit and combine it all just a little bit more. And then when I'm done doing this, I am going to show some pictures of cultural appropriation. So, yeah. I've posted a lot about this on the Guerrilla Feminism Instagram, and every time I do, it's really unfortunate that I have to turn off some comments, or turn off comments sometimes, because people are just assholes, you know? You have people who are just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, like, whatever, you're a snowflake. I love snowflakes. See, I have a snowflake tattoo. Or you have people who might mean well, but they really don't get it yet, and so that's hard for me as well, just because I wish I had the time to like educate everybody all the time, but I don't, and so then I feel really bad if I just can't, you know, get to that person in time. But you know, I can only do so much, you can only do so much, etc. So I want to show a few gross examples. Hopefully you can see this, but so there we have Katy Perry. I think she's supposed to be dressed as a geisha, which is of Japanese descent. I mean, that whole thing makes me think too of like Gwen Stefani and her whole Harajuku girls, like her Japanese backup dancers. And then she gave them these like cutesy names, and I mean, I understand that she's like apparently really into that culture, but like, yeah, like you're a white woman, look at the power dynamics that you have. I mean, that has always rubbed me the wrong way. I know it's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and she's just like, whatever. Like, I don't think she's ever actually, maybe she has, I don't know. Link me below if she has, but I don't think she's ever come out and been like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Like, I mean, she made a whole like brand based off of it, so I don't think that she realizes or cares that that's completely gross and cultural appropriation, and she shouldn't do it, right? So that Katy Perry picture is like also gross for the same reasons. Celebrities do this shit a lot, right? And in some ways they're lucky because they are in the public spotlight, and so they do get called out for it, as they should, and hopefully they can then learn from that. It's a little harder when it's just like an everyday person walking down the street and you're like, wait, there's a white woman with dreads. Dreads. I say that in quotes because guess what? Our hair cannot dread. I have curly hair. If my hair can't dread, your stringy blonde hair cannot dread, okay? So don't do that either. It looks really bad on white people too. But yeah, you know, like it's hard in that situation to figure out like, what can I do? I can't really educate this person. Like, they don't know me, or, you know, like, it's just, yeah. Also, we talk about, oh, this is a good example. Let me pull this up. This has 3 lovely examples of cultural appropriation. So we have, you know, a native person, we have a Japanese person, and then we have Mexican, 2 Mexican people. So yeah, all of that is gross. Like, don't, also the whole like Day of the Dead stuff, like don't do that if you're not Mexican. Like that is specific to that culture and that community. Don't fucking do that. It's not that hard. So, okay, what am I gonna do next? Well, I need to get some makeup wipes and tighten up my eyeshadow. And then I am going to, what am I gonna do? Then I'm gonna put on eyeliner, lashes, and I'll be back after that because I don't think y'all want to see me do that. But let me know if you do. I don't know, maybe you're into that. Okay, so this is my final eye look with the fake lashes. Took me a long fucking time, FYI. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I probably should have done my foundation after, but I don't really care, whatever. So now I'm gonna put the rest of my costume on and share my last thoughts about cultural appropriation. All right, here is my final look. I'm going as Amethyst from Steven Universe. So hence the purple hair and the gemstone right here at my chest. I'd show you a full body shot, but maybe I'll try to put a picture in after this. But I do have some cute leggings on with the stars over my knee like Amethyst wears. Got this wig from Amazon for fairly cheap and it's amazing. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm just going to do a final lipstick and that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna try actually this one from Black Moon Cosmetics, which is called Immortal, and it's a glittery purple. It might be too, I was gonna say too much, but like it's Halloween, so fuck it, right? I have chocolate right there. That's typical. So I'll try this. And if it looks weird, I'll use the other one. But this actually might be perfect. I have a very pronounced Cupid's bow. I think people think that I fake that, but I don't. If you've seen my lips, they're always like that. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that's okay. We're doing this. We're doing this one. Thank you, Black Moon Cosmetics. I'm gonna put in these earrings. Little purple sparklies. And call it a day. So, cultural appropriation is bad. Don't do it. I'll try to leave some reading material below. But really just, you know, think before you dress up. Certainly don't do blackface. I mean, don't do anything that's fucked up, okay? But, like, just, you know, just think, okay? And I will leave some reading material below, like I said. And yeah, let me know what you'd like me to talk about next time. It will be November then. Oh my gosh. And we'll go from there. Okay, so I look really washed out right now because this sun is like, woo. Maybe I will take the camera around here to see. Whew. Still, the lighting is kind of not that great. So my eyes, I'm pretty happy with, not gonna lie. All right, I guess that's it for me, everybody. Woo! Extreme close-up, sorry. We'll talk next time, and yeah, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. Love you. Oh, I have purple nails too. Oh, that one looks really bad. I need to clean that up. Whatever. All right, have a good one. Bye.